going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of No Longer a Teenager. It's Ilan here, and I'm sitting with my co-host Steve. Say what's up real quick.
Hey, everybody.
And today, the first episode where we have a guest, Vince Capocelli, dude, the guy with the legendary Snapchat.
Yes, sir.
Talk about it. Say what's up. Say what's up real quick.
What's up? What's up to the podcast? No, I'm so happy to be here.
If you're on Snapchat, you know Vince. That's guaranteed.
I've been slowing down on the videos though. I gotta get back into it.
I mean, I'll blame COVID for that. I'll give you a reason.
We'll get
But fully, and I'm gonna say this right now because I want it on camera. I think Vince's stories are better than DJ Khaled in 2017.
Oh, for sure.
Yo, dead ass though.
Dead ass. I mean,
listen, Vince. All I gotta say, man, is your stories. I always watch them.
For people, they don't. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to talk about myself too much, but I feel like some people misinterpret a lot of. It's not my show. It's your show. I'm the guest. But I feel like people misinterpret a lot of this shit that I say.
That's fair. But people will always do that. I'm gonna go straight off the bat and tell you.
Everyone's always gonna judge you.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, no matter what, you open an ice cream shop, and even that's already.
Even worse than that. I could right now. I could win the lottery, win $100 million. Be a nice guy and be like, you know what? Everybody who went to high school with me, I'm giving you all $1 million. They're gonna take the money and they're gonna say, you know what?
Cheap guy.
What a show off.
Yeah.
What a show off.
No, there's good and bad
you
to no
can't
matter
even,
what
like,
you do.
you know?
I mean, you can make a good decision for yourself, and half the people will tell you congrats. Other people will tell you you're making a mistake.
That's the way it is.
There's always people that are gonna doubt.
You gotta you know what? I feel like sometimes, and you might think otherwise, but sometimes I let I'm very transparent. Sometimes I do let the opinions of others. It gets to me.
Happens
Oh, for sure.
We're human.
Especially when you hear it like over and over.
Yeah.
Like when somebody doubts you or somebody tells you not to do, like, it could get to you.
For sure.
It could get to you for sure. And then I mean, people could literally shame certain things you do. People could hate on so many things. I mean, I spoke about this over and over in the first 2 episodes, I feel, of when I started my YouTube channel. When I first started it, a lot of people, they were telling me, quit, like, dude, you're cringe, you're making, like, it's a joke, like, stop trying
to make something of it.
Yeah, and then when I started making something off of it, I felt like, after I saw it pay off, and I don't mean financially exactly, I mean when I first started seeing that there was a community that was building, I want to give a shout out to a lot of people, Mac, Quackerson, like a lot of people that have been with me throughout. It's been over 5 years, on Twitter, everywhere, and honestly, the amount of appreciation I have for that, I could never actually say in words. It's a feeling that I am so thankful for them being here for so long, because that is what told me that I'm doing something right. When I saw that I'm giving value to people, I'm giving something more than just a distraction, and that I'm not truly wasting my time.
It's kind of like when you give energy and they give energy back.
Exactly.
That's the best reward you can always.
No matter what.
People think money is, or we all want financial freedom. We all want money.
Yeah.
For sure.
But at the end of the day, it goes deeper than that. It's really like, what's your purpose?
It's
and
the
like when
connection.
you're helping.
It's like you said, finding your why. Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
What makes you get up in the morning? If you're really passionate about something, and that's what makes you, become a better version of yourself. That's what you have to focus on.
Yeah, and I find that's probably the most important thing. Yeah. If you don't know why you're doing anything, you're gonna quit. It's that simple.
No matter what.
Like, also, you mean like having your purpose, basically.
Yeah.
Like having a purpose.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, if you want to go to the gym, why are you going to the gym? If you don't have a goal to remind yourself, after the first time you're sore, after the first time you do not feel like it, you will quit. If you're in school, you got to remind yourself why you're in school.
Of course. You
want to get that degree. You want to make your parents proud. You want to do whatever it is. You want to tell yourself that you can make it. That's amazing. Push through, get it done. If you're working a sales job and you want to be the #1 sales associate, why do you want to do it? You want to get more money. You want to get a promotion. You want to prove yourself. Whatever it is, you have to have
build yourself. You want to build your confidence. You want to build your
for sure.
Your skill set, and you want to build your, most importantly, what I feel is most important in life is your network.
Yeah.
Because no matter what,
100%.
the people you know will always be more valuable than anything else. And this is what we talked about. We always talk about this. Invest in other people, guys. No matter what, this is the one thing I will tell you: do not be cheap, because it doesn't go anywhere. You have to invest in other people. You have to give other people the chance, because if you want to get the chance one day, because you will need that chance, you're gonna have to give other people the opportunity to really grow, so that you can really grow in that way. So
yeah, for sure.
So well said.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's there's multiple quotes about it. There's ask and you shall receive, give or you will get what you've given. A lot of different spin-offs of the same thing, but what you put in is what you're gonna get. So you just gotta keep pushing.
And you always have to, something we always talk about too is when we talk about investing in people is people who have an open mind.
Yeah.
People who will always.
For sure, you gotta find the right people.
People have to entertain each other's ideas. That's the only way progress is made in life.
Yeah.
If Vince comes up to me and says, "Listen, man, I want to open this car wash, but it's gonna have like a cafe and there's gonna be exotic cars and there's gonna be this not, let's do it." Or you know what? Tell me more about it. I want to hear about it. People who just shut you down.
People that say no before listening to it.
Yeah, those people, cut them out. That's not even worth it.
That's the thing, because recently, exactly. So
it's not even worth it.
So the other day,
even if it's family, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Like the other day, someone messages me exactly business proposition, and sometimes I'm busy, I can't take the message or the call right away. But I tell them, call me when I'm at 5, and let's talk. Let's do it. Like I always have an open mind towards anything, whether that be someone wants to talk about business or they want to talk about. How they can improve them, anything. I'm open to anything that's positive.
You gotta take the opportunity.
Anything that can help him,
you have to try.
or help me, or help both of us.
And you know what? At the end of the day, as long as even if it doesn't help, let's say at the end of the day nothing happens or nothing comes of that meeting or that phone call, it doesn't matter because the time that you took to explore it is not time wasted. You know what I mean? You took the time. If it's a positive thing and it's for a good reason, you took the time out of your day to go into it and to to entertain the idea, like I said.
Because one day, one of those opportunities is gonna be something.
That's it.
So if you're never taking if you're never taking the chance to hear out those opportunities,
how are you gonna get something good?
How are you gonna ever get an opportunity?
You gotta write 100 bad songs before you write one good song.
Yeah. No, it's all. The reason why I love this episode specifically, trial and error, is because it applies to every part of your life, and it always will. It's something that's gonna remain consistent throughout all of eternity. I mean, this is when people talk about something that is evergreen, something that is going to last you your whole life. This lesson will literally last you the rest of your life.
And don't be afraid to make mistakes.
That's the biggest thing.
That's the biggest thing because you have to experience, and there's so many things that I look back on. I could have done them differently, but at the end of the day, I learned so many things from them that it pushes me forward.
It's important to identify the mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
and then figure out where you could have, how you could.
Round 2. Why is round 2? When you start a business and the business fails, why is round 2 going to be different? What did you learn when you went into your second relationship, your third relationship? Why is round 2 or 3 or 4 going to be different?
Yeah. You need to analyze it.
That's it.
You need to. Sometimes you do need to take a step back from whatever it is. Let's say you're trying to improve on your businesses.
I love that wording, by the way.
Yeah.
What?
Like the way you said that, like taking a step back.
You gotta look at the bigger picture.
You need to take You need to take a step back, not like engage in it and just really
look at the bigger picture,
analyze, reflect, but not just ponder and just because there is something to be said about taking action and never giving. But sometimes you do need to take that time to clear your mind, and I'm really been into like meditation and shit recently.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys, we can talk about that.
I do it every morning.
Me too.
I do a whole 30 minutes of visualization.
Me
and
too.
During that visualization, I'm focused obviously on what I have. I do 15 minutes of me reflecting of how I want my day to be. So I'm imagining how my day is gonna go and the things I do throughout the day. I'm trying to imagine myself doing them. The second thing I do is I picture a 15-minute movie about my life, but in the future. So me like waking up in whatever house I have, going to the car, driving to my business, to my office, saying hi to everybody there. All these things I'm visualizing it, but while I'm doing it, it's absolute quiet. It's pure focus, and nothing could distract me.
Right. I also do a type of meditation where you just don't think about anything, and you just. That's what I've been doing. I've tried that too, and it's pretty cool. But I also just do it where it's just complete. Sometimes you need that just no clutter, no
focus,
no chit chat of the mind. Like just you need that just
it's called
peace. I don't know. Yeah,
it's called mindful meditation.
Yeah,
it's
and
when,
that really
it's
helps.
when you focus. It's when you focus on being in the moment.
And you know why I do that is because I was trying to. One thing I was trying to work on was being in the moment.
Yeah.
really, because even for business or even in like relationships, or you're trying to just communicate one-on-one with somebody, it's important to be in the moment.
For sure. I mean, I find the biggest thing is if you're ever talking to somebody and your mind is elsewhere, they will know. If you're ever in business and you're trying to sell somebody something but you're not focused, they will know.
You better be on the ball, especially for something like that. You better really be.
If you
don't know you're distracted or you're not.
Yeah, if you know right away, it's.
If you're on a date and you're too antsy and you keep trying to check your phone or whatever, consider the date done.
Shit's fucked me up so many times, man.
No, but it's true, because you know the person just listen. If you see your time as valuable, which you should, because we have limited time on this planet.
Yeah.
It's just the truth.
Yeah.
And you're gonna take your time to go out, and you know what? Forget the money. Like, honestly, at that point, forget the money. It has nothing to do with the money, because money comes and goes. You know what I'm saying? I've lost so much money in my life, it doesn't even make sense, to be honest with you. But no, I'm serious. Like, off of things that, you know.
Me too.
But if you think about it, it's the time you took with that person, with that business, with that you know, new thing that you tried to do, that new opportunity. That's what ends up hurting people. A lot of people, like, when their business fails, it's not because, you know, they don't get that depression because, you know, I lost 200 grand. It doesn't mean anything to them. It's the fact that
they
I lost 5-6 years or 10 years of my life.
The time.
Yeah.
I find that is the biggest thing. And when I used to stream on Twitch, I used to tell everybody that the biggest investment anybody could make to your stream was watching the stream. It was giving their time,
taking the time to watch it,
to actually sit there. Like, some people stayed for hours watching this, like watching me play video games or whatever.
Can you imagine that?
I'm saying, like, the appreciation I have for those people is beyond. For you guys listening to this podcast,
true.
I appreciate you so much for listening to this. Whether you're in the car, whether you're working, whether you're wherever you are, you could be doing anything, and you chose to watch this podcast. And the reason why we're trying to give you as much value as we can, the reason why we're telling you the things we've learned throughout our lives, is because you made the investment of giving us your time. We will make it worth it.
Of course.
I find that's my mindset and mentality going through this podcast. If people decide that they want to follow and that they want to, you know, help more people and share it out and whatever, you can do that, and obviously it helps. But the biggest thing, and the thing I'm most thankful for, is having you guys listen, comment. The people on YouTube, I've been answering all your comments. If you're listening on Spotify or anywhere else, the people that followed, downloaded, I see it all, and I appreciate it. People that tweet it out, I've had a lot of people retweet it and share it. I appreciate that so much. And yeah, just wanted to give a quick thank you. But we're going to try to tell you guys everything that we've learned throughout our lives, whether it's good, bad, embarrassing or not, full transparency, and that's the goal of this podcast overall, you know.
100%. Like, it's important. Like, transparency is important. Like, you can't be like.
Well, there's a lack of it today. Let's just say that.
There's a lack of transparency.
For sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of transparency, but there's also, you know,
I feel like
social media and all these things. It's like, you know, there's so much that you don't know behind the scenes. You know, you could see somebody and say, wow, they're living their best life, and at the end of the day, you have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
But that's the problem, and like, if we're gonna get into that, like, that's what I think is a big problem with social media, is because you look at other people's lives,
but it affects you.
And it affects you because you feel like you compare yourselves to them.
Even if you say, okay, you know, I'm just looking at this completely objectively, you still have that feeling of like, this person's 19 and has this, and I'm 19 and I don't have that, you know. No matter what happens,
you still have that.
We're
exactly.
Human. It's human nature to always want to be part of the group, to always want to be loved and thanked and appreciated. Try to fit in. So you're always gonna do things based on whatever other people think, no matter what. And that's another thing we always talk about, is like, you know, people's opinions. Mm-hmm. What you think of them, what they think of you.
And here's the thing, like, let's say you had everything you wanted. You had the car, the house, the wife, the money, everything you ever wanted. It came to you like that. Here's the thing, like, if you had all that, would you look back at that and be like, that was an interesting life, like, that was a fun movie? Mm-hmm. You'd probably be like, that was boring.
What did your life look like? Yeah.
It's the hardships, and it's the, you know, it's sometimes the when shit's going not good.
If you do something without actually taking a risk, without feeling like you're investing anything and you get whatever it is, you will not have any. You won't have any joy in it. You won't have any pride in it.
You won't appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly, because you never really went through anything to get what you had. You know what I mean? You always you were there. Cause
I'm not saying the tough times or whatever. I'm saying like sometimes it's that's what makes life interesting is when it's the journey. It's not about having it. It's about the experience of getting there. Like I know that sounds cheesy and shit,
it's true,
but yo, it's fucking true.
The way I see it is everything that's beautiful isn't perfect. Because that's what the beauty of it is, that it's not perfect, you know, and you can look, you can say that for anything. You can look at at anybody's life.
The other day I was at
and say that.
The other day I was at Casual Spa, and I doubt the waitress is watching this, but I was talking to the waitress, and
shout out
to
Cash.
She had a lot of really nice tattoos.
Okay.
So okay. I'm like, oh, like those are nice.
So I'm like, oh, Bella.
Turned all Italian, but. I was like, those are really nice tattoos because I just really like the design. Like one of them was colored in, but the other ones weren't. It was a cool concept. Anyway, we started talking for a bit. I was like, which one was your first? We were talking for a while, and she tells me that she almost regretted them because they're not perfect. Like she's like, it's details so small that nobody else could ever notice them. But you spend so much time with yourself that you're gonna notice all these small things about you. You're gonna notice all the problems, all the insecurities, everything that you could possibly have, you will notice it before anybody else. Statistically, this is an actual study, you are 30% more attractive than you believe.
It's true.
That's an actual study.
It's true.
A little piece of motivation for everybody out there.
You guys are all beautiful.
You're beautiful. But what I'm saying is, you cannot let other people's opinions or other people have any say on how you feel. Because it's true to you, it's your life, and everybody's perspective is always going to be different.
I'm really happy you brought that up because that's something that I've gone through as well. With in everything, but with my tattoos as well. Because people always look at me and be like, what is that tattoo for you? And I can't really explain it because it's kind of like something for me. And then and then you tell them, and then they're like, okay, I don't really get it. And then I've thought about it, I've pondered it. It's like, you know what? They're not supposed to get it anyway. It's
for you.
It's on my body. It's my heart.
But it's super simple. Like here's the thing. Let's say someone asks you something like, this is a point I really want to make. There doesn't even need to be no explanation. It could just be you got that tattoo because you like the way it looks on you.
Yeah,
it makes
it's true.
you
It's
feel
true.
good.
You brought that up.
And that's the fucking reason you got.
Yeah.
So when people are like, oh, what does it... I don't think... Look, I have no tattoos, but correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think... And I love tattoos. Look like... I think they look great on some people. It's not about... And this is my philosophy on it. I don't think the message is important, but it could also just be you like the way it looks on you, and it's something that motivates you. It makes you feel like a better, just makes you feel good.
Yeah, for sure.
It gives you good vibes. That's
the thing. Like I've had that. Like I've sat there and be like you said, like she said, actually, like I've somewhat regretted
pondering, like why do I even have this?
Yeah. Then I look at it.
That's normal. I mean, that's fully normal. Like when you are actually thinking like, look. We live with extreme urgency. I find we put a lot. We realize that life isn't permanent. We won't be here forever, and we always think about that.
We don't chill basically. We're always on.
When you're out here thinking like, I don't even know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Was this decision the right one? And this goes for tattoos or anything.
Yeah, for sure.
When you start regretting certain life choices, when you regret certain experiences, you shouldn't, because even if it was bad, even if you failed at something, no matter what it was, it's something that you learn from. It's something that's going to help you go further, because I'm going to relate this to so many different topics right now that honestly, if you guys are listening, like mentally prepare yourselves.
We're going
just before you say anything though, I just speaking about that, Gary Vee always said something that kind of changed the way I think, and this is something I was sitting there and one day I was just at work and I was like, I regret so many things. And then someone just sent me a Gary Vee video, and I watch him sometimes, especially on Instagram and stuff. And he says, when you take a decision, was it the right decision? You don't know, because you don't know how the other side would have been. I can't sit here and say that dropping out and going to pursue what I want is the best thing that ever happened to me, because I don't know what the other outcome would have been. Anyway,
you can't just assume that the other outcome would have been the better one.
Yeah. No,
you can't assume that.
That's the thing. So you don't I could have, let's say I could have stayed in school and it could have benefited me or I could have been in the worst place that I was, even worse than I was.
Yeah.
You know, so you really don't know. You know.
So
I'm just saying you have no idea. You know.
I like that
yeah,
one.
for sure, and I completely agree with that. And what I was gonna get into is, no matter where you are, let's say we're gonna start off with school. If you want to pass the exam, you have to be ready to make the mistakes in class, to make the mistakes on tests, on the things that matter less, so that by the time the exam comes around, you are ready. If the exam is worth 40%, 60%, you better be ready for that.
Yeah. Because you had time to mess up.
And you have to mess up.
You have to mess up.
If you don't mess up, when I used to play basketball, my coach used to always tell me, if you're not missing shots during practice, you're not taking game shots.
Yeah.
And that applies to anything. Mm-hmm. If you're in business and you make a mistake, yeah, it could cost you $1,000, $10,000, whatever.
100,000, whatever.
It could cost you whatever it is.
Yeah.
But if you make that same mistake when you've already achieved more, it's going to cost you more.
Yeah.
It's the same mistake.
Yeah.
You got to make it early. You got to be willing to take these risks. You got to be willing to apply yourself.
And now like this is something I never thought of before now, ironically. It's just that like, you know, right now is the perfect age for us, I'm saying, to do this type of stuff.
Oh, for sure.
You know, to mess up your money. Yeah. I have messed up my money. I've messed up relationships. I've messed up, you know, all kinds of stuff that I can't even, you know, relationship with my parents, all kinds of stuff.
So much.
You know, but it's like at the end of the day, now that I have done that, I know that when I have a lot more to lose, it's not gonna happen. And that's what matters. That's what
it's
matters
like,
at the end of the day.
I want to kind of bring in like the stock market into this. It's like, let's say you lose money on a stock.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys ever did any investing in the stock market.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
But it's a good analogy. Let's say you lose some money on a stock, or there was an opportunity where you could have made a lot of money on a stock.
Yeah.
People are always like, people when they talk about the stock market are always like, if I invested in Tesla like 6 months ago
before
and I did
it was
that,
at 100 or 1,000,
it was at 100, I would have had X amount of dollars. I'm
Yeah.
like, and I look at when people talk, because I never say shit like that because I understand why, and I never say shit like that because, and I just don't understand people who say stuff like that because it's like, even if you did, like.
Yeah.
Like now you're prepared. Just be prepared for the next opportunity.
For the next one. Yeah.
Be prepared. There's always gonna be an opportunity.
Yeah. I mean,
there's abundance in the world.
Yeah.
There's gonna be another stock to make money on.
For sure.
You don't have to be dwelling on the past.
For
on
sure.
the past.
And life
just
is,
learn
life
from
is,
it. You know?
life is constantly moving forward.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna be stuck up on one moment, life doesn't stop.
You're not going anywhere at that point.
Life keeps moving, and you have to stay. You have to stay with that rhythm. I mean, when unfortunate events happen in life, breakups,
business failure,
somebody passes away, life feels like it stops, and it really does. And I've been in those situations, and truly, it feels like life stops. It feels like nothing else matters. It feels there's so many things where it's a moment of slow motion, and you're looking around and you're like, wow, this is my life right now. Yeah. But you have to realize that the world doesn't stop because
it feels like you're stuck.
Yeah.
You don't
the
know
world,
what to do.
I like that.
The world doesn't stop because you feel like it has.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is set yourself with any goal. This is the biggest thing that I find made a difference in my life. With any goal, you have to set yourself actions to achieve. So you want to lose weight, you have to set yourself eat better, drink more water, go to the gym. If you do those three things, you will achieve your goal.
Consistently, make sure. Yeah.
For sure. Everything has to be done with consistency. If you want to launch your own podcast and you want to succeed, record, edit, post. As much as possible.
Do one thing, do it 10 times, do it 100 times, and just keep going. That's what it is.
But I'm trying to improve on it as you
go. Yeah, for sure.
And another thing,
that's what comes with, like, whenever after the first go back to the podcast on YouTube. Look at the first episode. Look at the second episode.
True. That was something we noticed right off.
And now look at this episode.
And then look at.
Well, now Vince is here, so it's way better, obviously.
And now this episode.
Shout out to Vince. Thank you for coming again.
Honestly, I appreciate you.
Thank you. Really appreciate you coming. But,
I wanted to when you told me about it, and you're like, I'm 100%.
That fully reminds me. Vince called me every single day to make sure I finished editing the podcast.
Really?
I did.
Every single day. He fully made sure. He's like, when I was supposed to post it on Sunday. Sunday was an unfortunate day for me.
Yeah.
However, he called me. He was like, hey man, hope everything's good. I told him like it was a bit rough.
Yo, I'm sorry about that. Cause see, the thing, I don't want like if something happened, like that's fine. You still got around to it, and I didn't know that.
But,
so
no, but what I'm saying is I appreciate the fact that no matter what,
He was
'cause
on,
to
it
me,
was,
it
it was,
was exactly.
you were on his
This
ass.
is perfect. This is perfect. Exactly what I was just talking about. Sunday to me, it felt like the world stopped.
Yeah.
It
Really?
felt to me it was one of those days.
I know how you feel, man.
Something bad happened, and I was almost at the point of, you know what, the world's done right now.
Yeah.
Like,
Screw it.
it's
it
on
was
slow-
like that.
it was on pause, and then you call me and you're like, hey, like where's the podcast? We're supposed to be up today. And I was like, dude, you're fully right. If I beat myself up, I will stay like this for 3 days,
You're just gonna
a
waste.
week,
You're just gonna waste time, man.
a month, bro. I don't know how long it could have lasted.
Yeah.
But the fact that on the day of, I was already having somebody there for me to give me motivation to
and
do
like
something.
hold you accountable. in a sense.
Investing in other people.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And that made me appreciate it so much more. I got it up. I had it ready by Monday, and I posted it for Wednesday.
Yeah.
But the fact that I had that support really made a huge difference.
And it was like, I wanted you to post it because I wanted you to get the content out, and I also wanted to see it because I wanted to support you on it because, you know, as a friend, I wanted to see that
appreciate
episode, and I watched it, and it was great. I liked the episodes that you put out. I think I did watch them, and they were good, and you guys are gonna get better from there. I know it. I just know it. I know you guys are gonna
Thank
improve
you.
from there.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Another thing is like, you know, given like what happened Sunday, things that happened, like I had a really bad day yesterday too, and I was at a really low point. And the worst part about me is that when something happens to me and I go to a low point, I go really low because for people who don't know me, if I like something, I love something, or I hate it. There's no in between.
Yeah.
If I'm passionate
You're
about
all
something,
in,
I'm
or you're just fucking.
That's it. I'm either
I like-
110% into something, into a business, into, you know, like a
You're like
relationship,
fully
everything.
obsessed.
Yeah,
Fully
I'm-
100%. This
That's
is
exactly how I
my
am.
thing.
Or I completely don't want to ever hear about it. And I thought, you know, like I'll say that's it. I'm done with this. You know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, when I had a day yesterday that was really bad because something I wanted to do really, really badly, and that I am doing, you know, was kind of questioned, was kind of thrown under the carpet, and just, you know, swept away. Was like, I had a bad rest of the day. I let it affect my whole day, and I got to work this morning, and I got to work nervous, and that's what bothered me.
Yeah.
You know, I let it.
It's hard to
You know.
It's hard to recover.
Yeah, and I planned the whole thing out too. I
Yeah.
planned
Was
everything
this
out.
like a business thing? or
No.
something?
It was
This is
thing
a
I was-
life thing.
Yeah, this is a life. This is a big step, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, was
we're,
it,
We're gonna
Keep
gonna-
watching for the next
Yeah.
podcast, guys. It's coming
We're
up.
gonna talk
Yeah.
about it more as we get to about November.
Yeah,
But
November-ish.
yeah, but
Yeah.
part of
We're
no
not
longer
gonna
being a
spoil that.
teenager is we're gonna talk about what happens as we
Yeah.
grow
So
up.
make sure you guys stay
as you
tuned.
grow
You
older.
subscribe.
I find that's
you'll
a
get to see what it is.
big- Yeah, it's a big thing.
Yeah,
That's a huge.
But,
that actually is a huge thing for
it
sure.
is. It is. But I don't care.
And I'm proud of you for it. And I
Thank
think
you.
it's amazing.
Thank
you.
It's gonna be a.
I
big
think
learning
that long term, as long as obviously and I'm sure you've counted this in financially.
Yeah.
If it's fine with you, I know that long term you're gonna appreciate it so much more because you're gonna have that peace of mind.
Yeah.
You're gonna have that level of focus, and you're gonna have that joy
'Cause
of waking
you
up
know
every
what?
morning and being like, this is me.
Yeah, because financially it's gonna cost way more than what it costs now. But at the end of the day, like I said, money is no. I don't care about money.
It's crazy because we're talking
You know?
about this, but they don't know. So maybe we
Yeah.
shouldn't talk.
Yeah,
Okay,
too
we're
much.
gonna stop.
We're
We
gonna-
gave
wait,
our
wait, wait,
teasers
I'm
today.
gonna put a cut.
One thing I wanted to say with regards to making any decision in life, guys, you can plan out everything. You can plan out the whole thing step by step. This is financially what I'm gonna do. This is, you know, with my employees what I'm gonna do. This is, and life will just come around and just and be like, nah, you thought, you
You know
know.
what I do sometimes when I have to make, because there's times where I had to make big decisions. They were big decisions to me, like
Yeah.
a career decision, like do I do this or do I do that?
Yeah.
When it's like when it comes
It's
to like,
uncertain. You know,
that
like,
do I do
yeah.
do I do this or do I do that?
I flip a
Think
button.
think about it, think about it, but then make the decision. And just stop thinking about. Don't think
That's-
about
that's-
the
that's what you have to do.
make the decision.
Yeah,
You do it.
yeah.
You follow
then-
through it.
and
You
then
do it.
You put yourself in
You,
it. Like
you have to
there's-
commit.
Yeah.
You commit. You do it.
That's
as
all it
if
is.
There
It's
was
like-
no other
it's like-
option.
That's it.
Yeah.
And you just fucking do
100%,
it.
man. I'm
I'm
100% in.
gonna relate this to another thing. Remember when we went to the skate park. It was me, you, Damiano,
Yeah.
and a few people.
I like where this is going.
Damiano and I were talking about when you drop in.
Shout out to Damiano, by the way. Nicest kid on the
Shout out to
planet.
Damiano.
Yo,
Nicest kid on the
Love
planet,
it.
man. I love you.
Bro, I'm telling you, I love it.
Yo, Damiano, we gonna see you.
Yeah, we were talking about how you drop in on a skateboard.
Yeah.
And when you go down, you have to commit yourself 100%.
Yeah, or else,
If-
you're gonna get hurt.
If you hesitate, no, but like, if you hesitate at all, you will lose your balance and you will fall.
It goes wrong. It goes
Every
south.
single time.
That's it.
You have to go all in right away.
That's how life is.
And I find taking a step back and reflecting on life.
Yeah.
Any decision that you make at any point, if you try so hard to plan it out that you don't start, you will live your life not doing anything.
It's like I'm not sure if you saw that Graham Stephan video.
Yeah.
He's
I like
talking
Graham
to.
Stephan.
I love him. Shout out to Graham.
Yeah.
Shout out to Graham.
Yo, if you're on YouTube and you don't watch his videos, you're doing
You
something
have to
wrong.
watch him. And
Like,
it was sorry. And there was an interview with Jason Oppenheim, which I
Also,
always look up to Jason Oppenheim because he's someone who always talked about, not caring too much in the now, not giving a shit about what's gonna happen now, because in the future it's gonna benefit you. So what he was talking about with Graham Stephan in that video, which I loved, is that he was talking about real estate. And Graham was asking him, how have you built your portfolio and how have you built your clients? Now, if you guys don't know Jason Oppenheim, you should check him out. He's the owner of the Oppenheim Group, and they have the show Selling Sunset on Netflix. I'm not sure if you saw that. But basically
Graham was, I think he only has one line in the whole show.
Yeah, I know.
He's in it.
Wait, is it with that? Is it the Graham Stephan interview?
With Jason Oppenheim, with...
That's not the fat guy, right?
No. It's,
No, like, not the fat... Like, the really, like, big real estate investor guy.
No.
You know what?
That's
you're talking about the...
No, like, the
one where
big...
it's like titled like
$250 million.
Like, the
Yeah.
big
That's
real
not
estate
him.
investor guy.
Yeah.
That's
The
not him.
big
No.
Jewish guy.
It's the other... It's another one. But basically, essentially what it is he's talking about, succeeding, but he's also relating it to real estate in life. So he says, Graham says, how have you built your real estate portfolio in your business? And he says, well, people who don't succeed in real estate, why they don't succeed is because they overthink things, they overplan so much, they never buy anything,
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh, you know what, this building is overvalued, or it's, it has some repairs, or,
I'll do it
maybe I'm not...
when the market crashes.
I'm gonna wait for the market to crash. The market hasn't changed. You know what I mean? That much.
Yeah.
It's not a drastic change to merit you waiting. So if you really want to do something,
Start doing.
And essentially, if you want to get the girl, you have to be willing to lose the girl. If you want to get the money, you have to be willing to lose the money. Scared money don't make no money. Grant Cardone always said it.
I like that.
I have that framed in my office at work. Scared money don't make no money. That's it.
That.
You're not going
I love
anywhere if you don't commit to anything.
Yeah.
People who have a problem with committing to something they want to do, committing to a dream, committing to a goal or anything they want, they don't go anywhere because you sit there and you just overthink and you end up not doing anything.
I'm gonna bring it back to the other line you said. If you want the girl, you have to be willing to lose the girl. I mean, for myself, I give a lot of relationship advice, which is ironic, but anyway.
He's an expert.
Yeah, but
yeah.
fully, I'm not gonna deny that. But when I give a lot of advice, one of my friends, I'm not even gonna fully expose, but let's just say that 3 days of talking to somebody, he will make it out to seem like it's been a long time. And
I was talking to
one person.
Let's just say
for
he's
3 days.
Okay, he's talking to a girl. Let's just say he's a guy. He's talking to a girl. It's that type of relationship.
He's gonna act like it's been a month.
Like he's trying to get a romantic. Okay.
What I'm saying is,
he gets overly infatuated with the girl.
Right, but what I'm saying
going
is,
too fast.
what I'm saying is, it's not a personality issue. It's the fact that there's the fear of loss.
Yeah.
And when you have that, it's about how you treat it and how you go through with it. Because, yeah, you could be scared to lose somebody, and that's fine. When you care about somebody, it's normal to feel you don't want to lose
should have
them.
a part of that too.
But you don't want to be needy.
Yeah.
And I find it's like that with anything in life. If you need money, for example, people will know. You will seem desperate. People won't trust it, and it makes you come out as different. What you have to do is take each part of your life and go through it with a purpose and on your own terms.
And there's also something to be said. I mean, if he gets let's say for this example, your friend, he got overly infatuated with this girl, and he really, he felt like, oh my god, 3 days talking to her. I'm sure you gave him the advice. He better make sure like his life, he's content and his life is so fucking awesome that he doesn't even think about the girl.
You
Is
have
just
to,
a,
you have to be
she
content
just,
with yourself. You have
that's
to.
the-
Yeah, what I
you have
said.
to love
what I-
yourself
that
first.
means he
my
must,
exact words were to focus on yourself.
Yeah.
When you do that, you cannot go wrong. I mean, right now, you know what? For the sake of the podcast, I'm gonna let people understand. Sunday, I basically went through, let's call it a breakup, and this week I've been taking it a bit slow. I've been coming back into the groove of things and, you know, getting back into the reality of life. But the thing is, it's only been a few days and I'm back to being happy. I'm back to being good, and I'm back to being able to record and do a bunch of things that I'm able to do. And the reason for that is because when you're in a relationship, when you're with anybody, for however long it may be, the goal of it is for them to complement your life, not to be your life.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The goal of business, the goal of school, is for it to complement your life, not be your life. There are people that I've spoken to, and they have nothing going for them except for school. When you talk to them, they're the least interesting people I have ever met, because you ask them, what hobbies do you have? What interests do you have? What do you do?
They're like, chill at the library.
Or there's like or then there's like,
I wish. Even that's like not a thing. It's
or
just-
then there's like the.
I like chilling at the library, to be honest.
Honestly,
just a disclaimer,
bro,
I actually don't mind it. I like
to,
reading books and stuff.
I've gone to the library just to edit.
Yeah,
I put,
I like the
headphones
vibe of the
on. Yeah.
library. It's just relaxed, you know.
Or
It's
then-
the fact
yeah.
it's the fact that all of you are doing something that doesn't always make you comfortable, but you're doing it together.
Yeah, it's true.
I find that's a big thing.
Or then there's like the business guy, like the super successful entrepreneur, but he can't even go say hi to a girl, so he hasn't developed those other aspects.
He's just
of
so
his life.
focused on the business part of his life that the
You-
social skills just leave.
Yeah.
You gotta
It's
be
like-
well-rounded
Yeah.
Yeah.
and have other aspects of your life to be a real like well-rounded,
For sure.
like
You
I'm not gonna
have
say
to.
the word, but like let's say a fucking like maybe like an alpha male, like
Sure,
like a
yeah.
well-rounded.
I
If
know
you
what you
want to
mean.
be like, if
That's
you want
a
to feel like a
fine word to
well-rounded.
use.
That is a
mean,
good word to use.
I don't
Like-
know, like
Bro, I made a video titled "How to Be an Alpha Male."
because you know sometimes it
I
gets-
find that's very, very important because, especially now, and I'm going to talk about this a lot because I really want to target the younger audience with this. So many people are becoming so soft.
oh my god.
And
it's
I mean,
ridiculous.
not just in life, not just in, you know, the typical, like, oh, you have to know how to change a tire on your car, which you should, by the way. But I'm saying, people have become so scared of their emotions, of their feelings,
Scared of
of their
themselves.
opinions,
scared of
their
opinions, scared of everything.
And they
scared
don't
of-
want to
and-
offend anybody. Like they're just.
They're scared of being alone in a room with themselves and just thinking, like having their own thoughts and just taking the time to.
They're
like,
scared of being alone, yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
And it's becoming a bigger and
Yeah.
bigger issue. And I mean, I don't know if any of you guys watched. It just came out on Netflix. It's called The Social Dilemma.
I saw a bit of it.
It's a
So-
documentary. It's a documentary talking about how social media is becoming more and more addicting, and how AI is only getting smarter.
Yeah.
It will not stop ever. It's not going to become any
It's
worse.
just rated, just.
It's not going to become any worse. It's only going to get better. It's only going to become more addicting, and it's only going to become
More of a distraction from
Yeah.
an escape from
People are
real
going to be on
life.
their phones more than anything. And I mean, I've noticed this so much because I took the 30 days off social media.
Yeah.
I set app limits on my phone. I set screen time limits, like downtime. I mean, automatically my phone
Just
everything
turns off.
stops
Yeah.
at 11 p.m. or something like
Like
that.
even the
except for
social media, no notifications.
Just so that you
Everything.
can't stay on it all night.
everything.
Yeah.
Most of the time, my notifications for everything are off. I try to really limit myself, but even then, I catch myself having like a 3-hour screen time a day. 3 hours of my day on my phone.
But see, that's my problem is that I work 2 jobs that involve always
Being on
calling people, emailing,
same.
right? So it's like back and forth, always doing follow-ups.
Bro,
So I'm waiting for that call, you know what I mean? I have no choice.
That's
Exactly.
different. Though. That's work.
That's true, yeah.
But
That's
but even,
work.
but even then, for myself too, my business wise, it's all phone calls,
It's true.
and like YouTube and everything, it's all social media.
It's true.
I have to be on it. Even though literally the past 2 weeks, my only debate has been: do I throw my phone against the wall or do I not?
Well, I think you can find a medium. Like if you're working,
Exactly.
the social media work. Like let's say you're working and it requires you
Exactly.
to be on social media.
You can
It's
take
not
a-
for
yeah.
personal use. You're not You're not
Exactly.
looking
You have
at.
to set.
You're not creeping on the fucking girl next door or
Yeah.
some shit. You're
Exactly.
focusing
You
on
have
your
to
partner.
set. You have to set rules and limits for yourself.
Yeah.
And I find that's the most important thing that people have stopped doing.
Because you can delegate different like parts of your day to certain things.
People,
this is my work time. This is
love
my
the dopamine hit.
Yeah, for sure.
People love feeling distracted. People love not letting themselves get to a place where they could be hurt or they could be vulnerable or they could.
And this
life isn't like that.
This is why people get caught up in their own shell. And this is why people, you see someone 2 years down the line, 3, 4, 10 years down the line, 20 years, and they're the same person because they never did anything different.
Yeah.
They never
It's
had the thought of like, let me try this, and who cares if it fails? Who cares if everybody knows? This is one thing, again, going back to the opinion thing that I've always done.
I'm pretty sure there's a quote by, I think it's Sylvester Stallone, if I'm not mistaken. It could be somebody else. Maybe, I don't know if it's Arnold or, I don't know, but somebody said, if you want results that you've never gotten, you have to do something that you've never done.
Yeah, exactly.
I've heard that.
And
it's a very famous quote.
What I was saying is like, everything I do in my life, I know people talk. Yeah. I know people see it, I know people talk, and I know that people are always gonna say anything. Like, but at the end of the day, I don't care. If I, let's say I go and I start a business venture and it fails horribly. You guys can find out. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm happy you found out. It's like kind of like the journey, what's happening. I don't mind it. There's no reason to be embarrassed.
It's about falling in love with the process.
Yeah.
I've experienced that, and I think we've had similar journeys, so we've experienced similar stories. But it's come to a point now where it's like I've gone, and I'm not perfect, but I feel like I've learned how to deal with the idea that people are watching you.
Yeah.
Right now, people are watching this.
Yeah.
They're probably saying, "Yo, what the fuck's he doing? Why is he sitting like this? Or why is he saying that?"
Oh, for sure.
And I just don't. And I'm happy that I'm doing this because it's helping me not carry more.
Getting you out of your bubble at the same time.
It's getting me out. Yeah. That's why when you ask me, I'm like 100%. Get me out of my comfort zone. Yeah. Let's fucking do this.
And that's why whenever an opportunity is presented to you, you have to take it.
Yeah. That's the thing about having a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. I mean, up until 19, I think Psycho-Cybernetics came out in 1960 something, I believe, and that whole book talks about revolutionizing the idea that your mind actually could develop over time. So before, scientists believed that after 25 your brain is done developing. It's done.
You're at the full growth
you cannot change.
Achieve,
right? You cannot change.
Yeah.
And
you can always change.
You can definitely change emotionally.
But you have to want it. You have to want it.
So in 1960 something, it got revolutionized that it's not about your brain could change, and what really matters is your self-image. Whether you want to quit smoking, if you see yourself as a smoker,
you have to identify.
It's how you identify.
As a non-smoker, that's how
you want to. If you want to if you want to look good, right? You want to have abs, whatever idea of whatever the ideal body that you want to have. You have to visualize yourself as an athlete. You have to visualize yourself as somebody that is on track to get that.
Yeah.
So, if you tell yourself that I want to lose 50 pounds, I want to gain muscle, I want to do whatever, and you know that in order to do that, you have to go to the gym every single day, you have to eat better.
Yeah.
If you don't see yourself as somebody that's healthy, at least
before starting any of that stuff, it's all in your head, right?
See yourself as somebody that eats healthy,
it's not gonna happen.
You won't do it.
It's like those positive affirmations in a way, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's
about how you present yourself to yourself. The first person you ever have to sell yourself to is yourself.
Well, it's the military.
Builds your confidence.
It's like that's why you make your bed in the morning. This is why you get dressed nice to go out and take out the garbage because you're a winner. Like you establish in your head that you're someone who gets things done. You are someone who finishes things.
Quote. I have famous quote check.
Quote alert.
And it's a good quote that relates to all this. Quote alert. Everything is created twice. Once in the mind and the next in real life.
Yes.
I like that. I've never heard that before.
Well, there you go. You guys are explaining it all to me. So
guys, if any of you have any other quotes, put them down in the comments. We're gonna answer.
Yes. As you can tell, I love using quotes. So
use quotes all the time.
The more you put, the better it is.
I got some on me.
I got them on me.
Quotes are good because quotes are their messages, and they're basically like, what's the word? They're like
you can reaffirm them.
It helps you. I find it.
I like the fact that quotes are short and simple. You can remember.
I find it helps you. It helps you because like you said, everything's created twice. It kind of what a quote does is it just reminds you that you can put it in your head, which reminds you that you can do it. And this is something, the self-image thing is important too, because I'll give you an example. When I was in college, I was very conflicted. Like I've gotten
In what
into,
sense? Conflicted?
I'll tell you, I've gotten into relationships in college because I was not happy with myself. Like I was so conflicted. It's true. Like it's really true.
Wait,
It's
romantic relationship.
romantic friends, anything, because you want to distract yourself.
distraction.
I feel like
I've done that and I've regretted
It's the worst
so
thing.
much.
It's the worst thing.
it's so
I
true.
remember I wanna personally apologize. I'm not gonna say the girl's name. I feel like that's a bit much, but she knows. I'm just gonna say 2018.
Yeah.
Okay. That whole year,
that whole year was lit.
eight months of me being in a place that I shouldn't have been.
Yeah. There's two girls from when I was in college who I want to say the same thing too.
Yeah.
I wasn't where I should have been, but
I got
I'm better off now.
that girl in college, for real. That at Vanier, man. That's where it all.
Oh, that's the one that
that one fucked
yeah.
me too.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
that girl knows who she is.
Yeah.
Listen. Well,
Shout out to all the girls.
Shout out to all the fucking.
The moral of that is, if you're gonna do anything in life, you have to be ready for what's to come. You have to be like, trial and error has error in it.
Yeah.
That's
why it has it, because it's part of life.
And
you learn from it.
Yeah, you will never be
You learn
perfect,
from it,
and
huh?
it is not worth trying to be perfect because it just won't happen.
It doesn't exist.
What you need to do instead is understand that things could go wrong, things could mess up, things could change. There's so many different.
Well, look, your life can go so many ways, man.
Yeah.
In 1 year, you could have planned. I'm gonna finish school. I'm gonna do this, and then it just goes the complete opposite direction. You have no idea what happened.
The quote that
Sometimes I feel like that. Sometimes I do feel like, in a sense, like, what am I doing?
The quote I love is tomorrow isn't promised, and I'm gonna give a little example. A few weeks ago, we were at somebody's house, and Satiri said, do this right now because tomorrow isn't promised. We don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow.
Yeah. Shout out to Satiri, by the way.
Shout out to the whole squad.
Shout out to everybody, all the boys.
I'm gonna say this now. At some point,
and the girls, everybody.
At some point, the whole squad is gonna be on this podcast.
We're gonna do just a.
It's guaranteed. We used to
everybody. We're gonna have verbs.
Listen, I'm making a call out to Montreal. We used to all hang out at this place called Unison.
Yeah.
And recently,
I've been there.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sam from Unison, by the way. You gotta reopen that place.
Recently went out of
Is
business.
it closed?
Yeah, recently it went out of business.
It went out of business.
I missed that place
because of COVID.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna say is I'm making a call to Montreal. Make it a city place. Like literally, could the city of Saint Laurent buy it out? Yeah, they could.
Yeah, right? Probably. Yeah.
Do something.
If they don't buy it, we will.
Keep that pool hall there. Yeah.
I like that business mindset. It was. I'm sure that thing was a money making machine though.
It was getting slow.
It was getting slow, but
it was getting slow.
The point of that is because the whole squad, we used to do exactly what this podcast is. We used to sit down there on the couches and we used to talk about life.
Yeah.
And it helped so much.
For those of you watching, we would go there, and I'm talking, we'd be a group of like 10, 15 people. Yeah. And we would go and we'd play some pool, have some drinks. And
after
at the end, we would just,
hour or two.
Yeah, we'd just sit down and have the 4 or 5 hour deepest talk you've ever seen. Like, it was
and
insane.
you can do that with 15. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in.
That's a lot of people.
There were more people than spaces that there were to sit. So some people sat on tables and whatever.
Yeah, sitting on chairs and the pool tables and everything.
And we just and we were just
talking. It was therapeutic.
Yeah, it was so therapeutic.
We'd go every day. We'd be there.
Literally, I would look forward to it every single week.
Yeah.
But back to my story because I'm gonna forget it if I don't say it right now. So Satira said tomorrow wasn't promised, and I remember we did whatever we had to do that day. And the next day, I had a whole plan with a few people, and one of the people that I was supposed to go with, something completely unexpected happened, and literally it was the worst day of her life.
Was it like a date? Or just like a chill hangout?
It was supposed to be like a double date, but like with one of the people, like literally, when I say everything went south, everything went south. Like
for you or for her?
It was one of those days for her. Yeah.
For her.
Yeah.
And she goes, and when I saw her that night, because she needed somebody there. Like I saw that she wasn't okay, and she's like, it's so ironic because like he literally said tomorrow isn't promised, and the next day and we had plans for that. Like it goes to show that even if you make plans in just a few hours, you never know. So you have to live life with a sense of urgency, a sense of
like Steve Harvey. There's this thing called life that's gonna come and just change it's gonna throw a curveball.
Yeah.
Nothing you expected.
And that's like
Nothing
a way
you
to
expected.
just remind yourself
Yeah.
to like do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
for sure.
And you also have to remind yourself. My biggest problem, and this is something again that's what you said that really changed the way I look at things and really made me, I think, a better person. Just in one sentence, is he you know, I would always sit there and we talk about this. You know,
Yeah.
I'm always afraid of falling behind. I don't want to fall behind. I don't want to be 30 and be here. I want to be 30 and be here. This is what I
Yeah.
want. And he looks at me and he goes, man, you know what? At the end of the day, basically, you never fall behind because there's no fixed schedule, but you fall short. That's what he said.
Yeah.
And when you fall short, obviously it's gonna hurt.
hurts.
But the thing is, you can't be afraid of falling short because falling short is a process. It's something that happens naturally.
Also, you can't compare
in everything. So you can't be afraid of that. You can't be afraid of that.
I don't remember who said this, but I remember seeing it, and it said you can't compare your year 1 to somebody's year 30.
That's the problem though.
And
That's what happens.
you can't have like
Yeah.
it's good to have goals, but you can't have these like fixed expectations. Like by
For sure.
25,
And goals
I
that are
want to
too high,
have
too.
X amount of dollars in the bank. I
Yeah,
want to
that-
have
that's
this,
why-
this,
that's what I was
this.
saying.
It's not how it works in
Start-
reality. Like
That's what I was saying. Start small, and build your way up.
and I think it's good to have expectations to yourself because you hold yourself accountable
For
as
Accountability is very
as a
important.
high value,
Yeah.
successful person, but don't have these expectations and then it doesn't work out and then you're shitting on yourself and then you're shitting on yourself and you
It's the
think
wrong
there's
thing to
something
do.
wrong
Yeah.
with you,
Yeah.
but that's not the case.
That's
Yeah.
just the process. That's
That's
the way
just
it
the
went.
process.
That's the
That's
way it
just
went.
the way it went.
That's the way life goes, right?
You cannot beat yourself up over anything.
Yeah.
And what I really want to communicate to everybody watching or listening is life will always be trial and error. And anything you do, it could go wrong. Even
And you have to understand.
bro,
that.
even
You have
getting
to go
out
big
of
with
bed,
it, you know?
getting out of bed, you can fall.
Yeah, I know.
I'm saying anything you do,
Or
in life-
even better than that, you could say I'm gonna get up at 7:30 and you're gonna put 8.
yeah,
Not the time you wanted.
bro, you go to the bathroom, you miss the seat. Like, I'm saying anything you do, you could
you
mess
walk-
up.
you
But
walk
is
into
that
some-
gonna stop you?
No, that's it.
It won't. So
What
why
are you gonna do? Like
why
stay in
would you
bed
let?
and never
Yeah.
leave because you're
Yeah,
scared?
Just sit there and like accept
Like,
Why
I'm
would you
scared.
be a
let-
victim and accept what happened to you.
For
you know?
sure.
Like-
Why would you let anything stop you from doing anything that is not achieving your best? That is not bringing you to the best person you can be. If you could do better, I challenge you to do better.
Yeah.
If you could be better, become better.
Like we always say, and we said this in the last podcast. I think it was the first episode for those who watch and who listen. Thank you to all of you, by the way.
Yo,
What we said
honestly,
was-
but I'm sorry to
Go
cut you
ahead,
off.
go ahead.
In 5 hours, we had more
Was it,
views than I don't know, but it was up from the average by like 15%.
It was really good. So thank
So
you guys for
I
your
do
support.
want to say thank you so
for
much.
sharing.
Yeah, I appreciate
We're gonna
it.
make this episode right here blow up.
Yeah,
I
so-
promise.
Find the
By the
celebrity
way,
himself.
we got-
I'm not a celebrity. I'm not a celebrity. No one gives a
What?
I'm not gonna say no one gives a shit about me. You guys care about me
For
because
sure.
you guys are my
No, we
friends.
love you, man. Yeah.
But I will share the shit out of this episode.
Thank you.
I'm
And
saying
we're gonna get this
my
shit
request to everybody listening, just send this to one person. Send this
Please.
to your best friend. Send it to your sibling. Send it to whoever.
Or-
Just all I ask for is we're doing this. We're putting our time. I'm spending the hours editing, bro. I have to go through the hour and a half of footage
You put in the work.
and
Yeah, we
cut
put
it all
He
up and
puts
edit it.
in the work. He's here like he had. You guys can't see what's here, but he has everything set up, and I see the work you put in, and you guys have to. I
But yeah.
want you guys to be aware
But
of.
what I'm saying is we're doing all that for free, but what I'm asking for is just send it to one person. That's the only way we could grow. That's the only way all of this could actually amount to anything. And the amount of people that we could reach personally is limited. The amount of people we could reach together is unlimited.
And again, this is to benefit the both of us. So, you know, to grow together, to learn
Yeah.
together, and to communicate. Too, guys, please leave a comment. We want to hear what
For
you have to
sure.
say. What
Also,
else
if you
is-
guys have questions and you're listening on Spotify or whatever, if you can't comment like you can on YouTube, the email is askelantoday@gmail.com.
Got the
Ask any
email.
questions. Yeah, ask any
okay,
questions
why not?
there, and we'll be sure to answer them on the podcast. Later, we want to turn it into a Q&A and do a lot of stuff like that. So that's gonna be really cool.
That's gonna be sick. Q&A. I like that.
You're gonna be there, man.
Yeah. For sure.
What I
Look,
was gonna say was
anytime.
thank you. One thing that we said in the first podcast was, and I heard this and it always like stuck with me, is that we always talk about this. You could die tomorrow, right? And it's cringy to say, yeah, we don't have a lot of time on this planet, and which is true.
Just true.
But you know, I got up this morning and I said, I have another shot at this. I have another chance to be a better me than I was yesterday. Whoever I was yesterday,
Let me make this a better
I'm gonna
day.
make this a better day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a better person. I'm gonna try to do something for
Like
somebody.
try to improve, like try to be the best person
Yeah.
I can. Like I like that.
And you know, like I said in the last episode, I'd rather be stuck in traffic, going where I need to go, than be flying down the freeway in a direction that I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way life is, because a lot of times we stress, and like you said, we live a very proactive, very fast life.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I have to stop,
Yeah.
and people look at me, they're like, "You're 19, relax.
Yeah.
You
And
haven't seen anything."
Sometimes you feel like, I'm sure you guys get this because you guys are busy. I'm busy.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes, like you mentioned, things are going so fast, but it's important to take some time to just reflect
You have to.
and even just enjoy. Like, don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
Take a day or a night off and just have fun. Like, I feel like we're the types of people where we get so caught up in like the success.
We won't eat because we're working. You know?
Yeah.
We won't, or we're
So
just
this-
thinking about some other stuff, and
Yeah.
we're not sometimes
You have to
fully
take the moment
enjoying
to
the
give
moment.
gratitude, for
Yeah.
sure.
Right.
All right. Listen, I'm gonna have to wrap it up here because.
Let's wrap it
Yeah,
up.
Vince has to drive back to Italy, so it's a long, it's a couple days drive.
But yeah, okay. I wanna give a thank you to everybody that's listened to the
Thank
entire
you, everybody.
podcast that's listened to this
Thank
point.
you to our guests. Thank you,
Thank
Vince.
you,
It was
Vince,
a
for
pleasure
coming.
for having me. This
Stop
was
talking
iconic.
about
Stop. It's all about me now. We're done.
For those of you that haven't listened to watch this Gary Vee once, you should check that video out.
That
It
is a
is
good video.
really funny. But anyway, thank you so much for coming. I know that it was a little bit of a longer drive, so I do
It
appreciate
was
that.
worth every kilometer.
For those of you who are in the States, every mile.
Every
It was
mile.
worth every mile.
Um,
It wasn't that far.
But on that note, we will see you guys in the next one. I hope you guys have been enjoying them so far. We love recording them, and
Thank
we'll
you.
see you guys
Thank
in
you,
the next
guys.
one. Peace.
Peace.